Selanjutnya, kita akan sama-sama mendengarkan sambutan dari Mr. Dr. Hiroto Izumi, Project Professor, University of Tokyo, Doctor of Engineering, former Special Advisor to the Prime Minister of Japan, Advisor to BCJ, and Honorary Advisor to JUBH. Kami mohon ketersediaan Bapak untuk dapat naik ke atas panggung. Terima kasih.
Good morning, everyone. おはようございます。Selamat pagi. I'd like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to everyone participating in today's policy seminar on sustainable housing building and cities, co-hosted by Indonesia Ministry of Housing and Settlement Area, OECD Area, BCJ, and JUBH. I have served as a special advisor to the Prime Minister of Japan for 9 years, leading Japan's policy initiative, and prior to that, I was involved in urban and housing policies as the Ministry of Land, Infrastructure, Transport, and Tourism. During my tenure as a special advisor to the Prime Minister, I visited Indonesia so many times, and even now, so many times I visit here. Today, I'm truly delighted to welcome our Indonesian friends and engage discussion on the sustainability of Indonesia and cities. The 21st century is often referred to the era of metropolitan cities. While cities are the engine of economic growth, they also face complex and multifaceted challenges, such as demographic shift, the provision of quality housing, and addressing climate change. For instance, cities account for 2/3 of global greenhouse gas emissions and half of the world's general waste, making their role in achieving sustainable society increasingly significant. Urban flooding caused by climate change is a particularly severe issue. For example, last October, Spain experienced its worst flood in history, claiming over 220 lives. Tackling these challenges require balancing decarbonization policies and working together and strengthening urban resilience. In 2023, Indonesia urbanization rate reached 59%, making a 17% increase from 42% in 2000. Rapid urbanization has led to housing shortage and infrastructure challenges. I understand that housing is a major focus for the Prabowo administration, and today's seminar includes discussion on how national and local government can collaborate to provide high quality and affordable housing. In Japan, improving housing affordability is also recognized as important. Efforts are being made to provide public rental housing and ensure smoother access to private rental housing for people who need special assistance, such as elderly, people with disability, and low-income individuals. Additionally, the public and private sectors are working together to improve housing quality. Furthermore, Indonesia aims to achieve carbon neutrality by 2050, underscoring the growing importance of policies that enhance urban sustainability while addressing climate change and preserving biodiversity. In light of the circumstances, today's policy seminar aims to deepen discussions on policies for sustainable housing and cities from an international perspective. Following today's policy seminar, a business seminar will be held tomorrow. Furthermore, corporate exhibition will take place for both today and tomorrow at the venue next to this room. This business seminar and corporate exhibition aim to share the technologies, products, and services of Japanese companies in housing, building, and urban sectors with Indonesian policymakers and businesses, contributing to the realization of sustainable cities in Indonesia. I encourage all of you to actively participate in this event. Today's policy seminar brings together internationally renowned speakers. First, representing the Japanese government, Mr. Yasushi Masaki, the ambassador of Japan to Indonesia, will deliver his greetings. From the Indonesian side, Mr. Rahmat Gobel, member of the House of Representatives, and Mr. Abraham Elisha Barnes, expert staff for social, cultural, and public law of Ministry of Public Works. We are also honored to have Deputy Secretary General Takeuchi from OECD and Secretary General Watanabe from area, both leading organizations in policy analysis and recommendation in Asia and the world. Mr. Takeuchi will also deliver a keynote speech on global policy trends related to housing and urban development. Additionally, the morning session will include speeches from both Japan and Indonesia sharing insights on the challenge and the solution in urban and housing policies from national and local government perspectives. From Japan, Mr. Miura, from the Ministry of Land Infrastructure, Transport and Tourism, will provide a detailed overview of Japan's housing policies, including post-war housing shortage, the shift from quantity to quality, recent decarbonization policy, and the allocation of roles between the national and local government. Mayor Omori of Okayama City, one of OECD's champion mayors for inclusive growth, will share his experiences in promoting sustainable urban initiative in collaboration with citizens. Additionally, we will hear from Vice Minister Fareh Hamza on the Ministry of Housing and Settlement Areas, as well as Mrs. Mary Tuti, from Secretary of Housing and Settlement Department of DKI Jakarta, who will provide the latest housing and urban policies and challenges. In the afternoon, panel discussion will address three key themes: net zero and housing affordability, urban growth and environmental, and digital technologies and smart cities. I sincerely hope that today's discussion will contribute to enhancing the sustainability of Indonesia's cities. Let us engage in constructive discussions with the esteemed speaker and making meaningful steps toward brighter future. Thank you very much for your attention. ありがとうございます。テレマカシー。
Mr. Dr. Hiroto Izumi, ありがとうございました。Selanjutnya, kita akan sama-sama mendengarkan sambutan dari untuk His Excellency, the Japan's Ambassador of Indonesia, Mr. Yasushi Masaki. Untuk Yasushi Masaki sama kita berikan tepuk tangan.
Minasan, ohayou gozaimasu. Selamat pagi. Honorable Mr. Gobel, former Vice President of the Parliament, Mr. Baji Hamada, Excellency, Vice Minister of Housing Ministries, Dr. Izumi, who organized this seminar, and Mr. Deputy Director General of OECD, Mr. Takeuchi, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It's my great pleasure to deliver a few words on the occasion of the seminar on sustainable housing, building, and cities. First and foremost, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to the Ministry of Housing and Settlement Areas, OECD, Area, BCJ, and JUBH for their invaluable contributions in making this seminar possible. I am truly delighted to see such a significant gathering of public and private sector stakeholders from both Japan and Indonesia. Furthermore, it is particularly meaningful to hold this seminar at this pivotal moment, right after the establishment of the Prabowo administration, which has positioned housing in both urban and rural areas as one of its key policy priorities. Japan also welcomes the unwavering commitment to OECD accession by President Prabowo. Japan has been already providing technical assistance in the areas of investment, governance, and anti-corruption through Japan's voluntary contributions. OECD Secretariat has been holding workshops and dispatching short-term experts technical missions since last fall. We are confident that Indonesia's journey to OECD membership will provide many opportunities for better policy making in priority areas of the administration, including, of course, housing policies. The housing and cities in which we live are constantly evolving with the times. Advancing technology, changes in demographics, the impact of climate change, and the challenges such as the COVID-19 pandemic have greatly diversified people's living needs. For instance, in the past, home primarily served as spaces for family gatherings. Today, however, with the increasing importance of work-life balance and the widespread adoptions of remote work, homes are also expected to function as workplaces and spaces for learning. At the same time, factors such as safety and energy efficiencies have become indispensable elements of modern housing. When we turn our attention to cities, we see rapid urbanizations marked by the construction of skyscrapers and economic growth. However, cities today must also tackle new challenges such as reducing environmental impacts, embracing smart city innovations, and improving connectivity. These are global issues, yet addressing them requires solutions that not only adapt to changing needs, but also incorporate local climates, cultures, and unique regional characteristics. Here in Indonesia, housing supply, including transit-oriented development, TOD, in city areas, are among the key policy priorities of President Prabowo's administration. I sincerely hope that through this opportunity where people from diverse backgrounds gather together, we can combine the wisdom of both the public and private sectors of Japan and Indonesia to foster new discoveries and concrete solutions. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, in closing, I would like to extend my heartfelt appreciations to the organizers of this seminar for their dedications, as well as to all the participants for their engagement. I sincerely hope this seminar serves as an important step forward toward creating better housing and urban environments for the future. Thank you very much. Terima kasih banyak.
Sasriat.
Thank you very much, Mr. Yasushi. Next, we will listen together the speech from Mr. Abraham Esa Jayabarus, Expert Self-Administrator of the Public Ministry, Culture and Community Roles of the Ministry of Public Works of the Republic of Indonesia. The stage is yours. Please give your applause. Ladies and gentlemen, respected ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Ladies and gentlemen, the Ministry The Minister of Public Works should have been present with us here. However, because there was a sudden meeting with the Minister of State Secretary, he could not attend, and he assigned me to deliver his speech to this wonderful event. He conveyed his greetings and apologies to the Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of the Japanese government in Indonesia, His Excellency Masaaki Yasushi, and all of you ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to deliver a speech from the Minister of Public Works. Good morning. Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of the Japanese government in Indonesia, His Excellency Masaaki Yasushi. The Minister of Housing and Residential Areas, Mr. Marora Raid, and perhaps in this case he is represented by the Deputy Minister of Housing and Settlement, Residential Areas, Member of the People's Representative Council, Mr. Rahmat Gobel, former Special Advisor to the Prime Minister of Japan as an Advisor to the Building Center of Japan, BCG, Special Advisor, Japan International Association for the Industry of Urban Development, Building and Housing, GUBH, Mr. Hiroto Izumi, Special BFE of the President for Energy and Environment, Mr. Hasim Joyo Hadi Kusumo, are those present representing colleges, Ministry of Economic Cooperation and Development, or OECD, Economic Research Institute for Asian and East Asia, or area, Head of BAPEDA, Head of Service, or those representing local government, colleges, academics, business entities, associations, private sectors, ladies and gentlemen, and all the guests, distinguished guests. First of all, let us together express our gratitude to God Almighty, who always bestows His gifts so that we can attend this seminar, Sustainable Housing, Buildings and Cities in a good health. My biggest appreciation, our greatest appreciation, is conveyed for the holding of this seminar, which opens up opportunities for the two countries of Indonesia and Japan to collaborate in realizing a sustainable city. Ladies and gentlemen, the global warming and the climate crisis are real issues that have an impact on every life on Earth. Buildings play a major role in the use and emission of greenhouse gases, and where buildings have a greater contribution compared to commercial buildings, the housing has good contribution. With rapid urbanization estimated in 2045, 72.8% of the population in Indonesia will live in urban areas. Therefore, we consider it is important to encourage more environmentally friendly residential buildings, especially in energy efficiency, in the terms of energy efficiency. For that, we need to develop buildings that are not only functional and meet technical standards, but also sustainable. Buildings must be designed as green buildings, or BGH, which develop into smart buildings, or BTC, and finally achieve the target of zero emission in year 2060. Respected ladies and gentlemen, the implementation of green buildings, or BGH, is carried out through adaptive site management and building design and the use of environmentally friendly equipment. This is regulated in Government Regulation Number 16, year 2021, and the regulations of the Minister of Public Works and Public Works, to year number 21, year 2021, along with its derivative regulations to ensure the effective implementation of green buildings. The roadmap for 2023 to 2028 has also been established, considering the distributions of the population, energy and water consumption, and the experience implementing green buildings in various regions of Indonesia. To improve the efficiency of energy and residential comfort, the concept of smart buildings is applied as a further step from green buildings. Smart buildings integrate technology to improve energy efficiency and are responsive toward environmental contexts. Guidelines for the smart buildings are regulated in the regulations of the Minister of Public Works and number 10 of 2021, which includes the energy management, security system, and integration technology. As an example, the implementation of green buildings and smart buildings, we can see the construction of flats in the capital city of the Nusantara, IKN, which adopts the concept of vertical smart building. Ladies and gentlemen, the Ministry of Public Works is committed to encouraging the implementation of green buildings and smart buildings throughout Indonesia, through collaboration with the stakeholders, both central government, local government, industry practitioners, academics, and the community. We believe that the applications of sustainability principles in building design and construction will reduce environmental impacts, increase energy efficiency, and create a space that comfortable for its citizen. All participants, I hope it will be a good discussion, can be a place to exchange innovations and experiences and produce practical solutions that are implementable to realize sustainable cities in various regions in Indonesia. Finally, that's all what I can say. May God Almighty always give us His mercy in realizing a better Indonesia. Thank you. Thank you very much. Jakarta, January 14, 2025, Minister of Public Works, Dodi Angkodo. That was the message, ladies and gentlemen. That was the greetings from the Minister of Public Works. Once again, we congratulate you for holding this seminar today. Hopefully, we will get something better in the future. Thank you very much. Good afternoon. Thank you very much, Mr. Abraham Jaibarus. Now we invite you to return to your seat. Before we continue to the next speech, I would like to remind for ladies and gentlemen here who have not used the translation system, interpretation system, so you may go to the receptionist to get the tools. Please listen to the speech. Next, we will going to listen to the speech of Mr. Ahmad Gobel, member of the House of Representatives. The stage is yours. Representative of Housing and Residential Areas, Ministry Representative Mr. Fahri Hamzah. Mr. Hiroto Izumi, Advisor to the Building Center of Japan. His Majesty and the Great Kingdom of Japan for Indonesia, Mr. Masaki Yasushi. Mr. Yoshiki Takeuchi, Deputy Secretary General of the OECD, Mr. Tetsuya Watanabe, President of the area, other invited guests who are present today, who are honored by Allah, by God, Almighty God. Good morning. Currently, Indonesia is working hard and struggling to become a developed country, and this is done by creating a political stability, maintaining and increasing economic growth rates, maintaining a healthy democratic life since the 1998 reformation by utilizing the demographic bonus, maintaining the balance of nature and the environmental sustainability, building quality human resources, and eradicating poverty and corruption. This is in order to achieve Golden Indonesia in 2045, exactly 100 years of independence of the Republic of Indonesia. 3 days ago, the new Prime Minister of Japan, His Excellency Shigeru Ishiba, made a state visit to Indonesia. The Prime Minister invited President Prabowo Subianto to visit Japan, and this shows the close friendship between Japan and Indonesia. The Japanese Prime Minister also strongly supports government programs such as the free nutritious food, increasing the agricultural and fisheries sectors, food self-sufficiency, downstream industrialization, the energy decarbonization, infrastructure, housing, and so forth. Today's seminar, of course, full of meaning after the state visit of the Japan Prime Minister to Indonesia. The government of President Prabowo Subianto has launched 8. Sachita is 8 goals. In this, the sixth goal, it's written that the building from the village and from below, from the bottom, for economic equality and eradicating the poverty. In addition, the Prabowo government has also compiled 17 priority programs. In the 6th priority program, written ensuring cheap housing and sanitation for rural communities and the people who need it. In addition, it has also been planned that in the first year, 3 million houses will be built for the poor, namely 1 million in urban areas, 1 million in rural areas, and 1 million on coastal areas. Currently, there are still 9.36% of the population below the poverty line. The number is around 25.9 million people. From BBS data, the statistical data, it was also revealed that there are still 15.21% of the population who do not have house. Meanwhile, the number of households in Indonesia is around 70,128 million. If one house is for a household, the figure of 15.21% who do not have a house is 10.74 million families. However, one property organization stated that those who do not have a house are around 25 million families. The Prabowo government is determined that by 2029, all households or all families have a house, and for that, it requires large funds to build that many houses. Parliamentary calculations state that for 3 million houses alone, around 15 trillion Indonesian rupiah is needed. Minister of Finance Sri Mulyani Indrawati state that to realize the 3 million houses in this year, the government has allocated a budget for the Ministry of Housing and Residential Areas of 5.27 trillion and support for housing financing of 35 trillion through facility liquidation, housing financing liquidity facilities of 28.2 trillion for 220,000 units of, and down payment assistance subsidy of 0.98 trillion or for 240,000 units. Interest difference subsidy of 4.52 trillion for 743,940 units, and through Tapera of 8 trillion rupiah for 1.8 trillion rupiah for 14,200 units. Thus, still need more funds to reach 3 million houses. Therefore, the government cannot do this alone to provide that many houses. It needs participation from all of the stakeholders, from all the parties, especially investment from national, private sector, and foreign investor. Indonesia very much welcomes the Japanese initiative to help Indonesia in this housing sector. and to stimulate the business climate and provide ability for the community to own a house, the government also provides a number of incentives such as value-added tax incentives borne by the government, 100% for the purchase of a house with a maximum price of 5 billion, land and building acquisition fees to 0% from the original 5%, as well as acceleration of the processing of building permits, which were originally takes 45 days to change to 10 days. A house is a nest, a house is a place to return, a house is also a symbol of status and tranquility. A house is also a foundation for a family to step towards achieving hopes and dreams. In addition, the family is the most important pillar for the progress of economy, the progress of a nation and a country. Therefore, to achieve a golden Indonesia can only achieve if a golden family has been formed. There is no golden Indonesia without golden families. Thus, providing house for every family is a prerequisite for the progress of a nation. And as a members of the parliament, we are ready to support every initiative that to provide cheap housing for the poor families. Building millions of houses requires land availability, budget availability, supportive regulations, and peace guarantee for investors and consumers, as well as a stable and sustainable political climate. And finally, I would like to send gratitude to Mr. Izumi, who has carried out to prepare and implementing this very important seminar at the beginning of the 2025, and I believe Japanese technology, Japanese quality, which I think is very much needed in building housing in Indonesia that is environmentally friendly to build a good future for Indonesian families. Thank you very much.
Terima kasih banyak Bapak Rahmat Gobel. Kami persilakan untuk kembali ke tempat duduk. Selanjutnya kita akan sama-sama mendengarkan sambutan dari Mr. Tetsuya Watanabe, President Economic Research Institute for Asian and East Asia atau ERIA. Watanabe Tetsuya sama gotodang kudasai. Mohon berikan tepuk tangannya untuk Bapak Mr. Tetsuya Watanabe.
Good morning, Selamat pagi. His Excellency Mr. Rahmat Gobel, Excellency Mr. Fahri Hamzah, Vice Minister, Dr. Hiroto Izumi, former Special Advisor to the Japanese Prime Minister, Ambassador Masaki, Japanese Ambassador to Indonesia, Mr. Yoshiki Takeuchi, Deputy Secretary, OECD, Mr. Masao Omori, Mayor of Okayama City, OECD Champion Mayor, Mr. Itsuhiro Miura, Deputy DG, Japanese Ministry of Land Infrastructure, Transport and Tourism, Mr. Mary Budiasti, Secretary of Housing and Settlement Department of DKI Jakarta, Mr. Akira Ichikawa, Chairman, Sumitomo Forestry. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of ARIA, it is my great honor to welcome you to the policy seminar on sustainable housing, buildings, and cities in Indonesia, here in Jakarta. I would like to extend my sincere appreciation to the Ministry of Housing and Settlement Area of Indonesia, Ministry of Public Works, Indonesia, OECD, BCJ, JUBH, as well as Embassy of Japan, CADIN, and other key partners whose efforts have made this gathering possible. This seminar brings together diverse solutions to policymakers, business leaders, experts, and academics to discuss and find innovative solutions some of the most pressing challenges of our time, balancing rapid urbanization, housing affordability, and environmental sustainability. Buildings and construction sector accounts for almost 40% of global greenhouse gas emissions. In this context, integrating energy efficiency, superior materials, and smart technology into urban planning is not just desirable, but it is necessary. The concept of smart cities offers tremendous potential by integrating real-time energy monitoring, smart building controls, and optimized resource management cities. City can achieve sustainable reduction in energy consumption and CO2 emissions while enhancing the quality of life for communities. AREA, international organization located in Jakarta, in Indonesia, is deeply committed supporting these transformative efforts. Through the AREA Digital Innovation and Sustainable Economy Center, nicknamed eDISC, we work to bridge the digital divide, enhance cybersecurity, and promote data and AI governance, smart agriculture, startup ecosystems. And we are closely working with policymakers, business leaders, and academia to find common solutions for digital era. Also, from the perspective of sustainable economy and carbon neutrality, we are also proud to introduce a new center called the Asia Zero Emission Center, following the mandate from the leaders of the Asia Zero Emission community. The new center serves as a platform to share information, conduct research on policies and projects, and support partner countries in formulating visions, roadmaps, and policies for decarbonization to facilitate energy transitions. As we embark on this journey, let us remember that every step towards sustainable housings, buildings, cities is a step toward achieving the sustainable development goals. We are not just constructing skylines. We are shaping the future, our community, our environment, and ultimately our world. I look forward to the substantive discussion and the innovative solutions that will emerge from the gathering. Thank you very much. Thank you for the opportunity.
渡辺哲也様、ありがとうございました。